the mother. The first tendrils of light were still battling the darkness when the resonant call to prayer shattered the quietude, summoning Abubakar Haji from his repose. The morning routine was shattered by a moment of unexpected beauty. Aisha's voice, rising from near her hut, struck a chord within Abubakar Haji, a sudden, undeniable attraction. Vadathil Kurup, his manager, witnessed the silent transformation. Abubakar Haji, his heart stirred, sought to engage Aisha. But the moment was fractured by the arrival of Ibrahim, his face a mask of suspicion. Haji, sensing the father's unease, redirected his attention, speaking with a practiced air of benevolence. His eyes, however, betrayed his true focus, lingering on the crumbling walls of the hut. With carefully chosen words, he offered Ibrahim a solution, a financial remedy for the dwelling's decay, a gesture that masked a deeper, unspoken desire. Inviting Ibrahim to his home, Haji began with flattering words before revealing his true purpose. He wished to marry Aisha. Ibrahim was taken aback, remembering Haji's 3 previous failed marriages. Yet, weighed down by his own financial struggles, he found himself unable to refuse. Haji sealed the agreement with a promise to care for Aisha until his dying breath. The early days of Haji and Aisha's marriage were peaceful, and they were happy to learn of Aisha's pregnancy. When the time came for her delivery, however, a moment of tension arose. The mullah suggested seeking a doctor's assistance, but Haji brushed it aside, stating that the nurse Khadija would manage the situation. Zainaba was born to Aisha and Haji. However, Haji's womanizing tendencies quickly resurfaced, as he began showering Khadija with gifts and pursuing her. Meanwhile, Ibrahim received news of Zainaba's arrival. Haji, known for his religious observance, was listening intently to the mullah's recitation of holy scriptures. As Khadija appeared, Haji's focus shifted. He turned to his servant, Mamunju, and ordered that he retrieve a sari from the almirah. Haji bestowed the sari upon Khadija. Mamunju, alarmed by what he saw, raced to tell Aisha. She arrived to find Haji engaging in blatant flirtation with Khadija. As Aisha succumbed to the emotional strain, Mamunju hurried to inform Pathama, Haji's mother. Pathama's arrival was met with the sight of Aisha, who had fainted from the overwhelming emotional distress. Pathama, deeply concerned, confronted Haji about his behavior. However, her words were met with his angry shouts, and he stormed away. Later, when Khadija attempted to approach Haji, Aisha intervened, and a heated quarrel erupted between the two women. Shortly after, Haji came back, his anger flaring. He unleashed a tirade against Aisha for her dispute with Khadija, and then resorted to physical violence. Pathama, witnessing the assault, quickly intervened, putting an end to his actions. Coincidentally, Ibrahim arrived on the scene. Haji, without hesitation, presented Ibrahim with money, claiming it was the return of the dowry, and definitively announced his divorce from Aisha. With tears in her eyes, Aisha begged Haji to reconsider his decision, reminding him that their baby was barely 40 days old. Her pleas fell on deaf ears. In a moment of heartbroken resolve, Aisha threw the dowry money at his feet and walked out of the house. Following the divorce, Haji married Khadija. Some years passed, and then Pathama requested that Haji bring Zainaba to visit. However, he declined. Zainaba, growing up and attending school, asked Ibrahim to buy her a skirt. At first, he hesitated, explaining it was contrary to their established customs. However, after some consideration, he agreed to her request. Zainaba made her way to school, accompanied by Rosama and her friend Hamid. During the school day, some children began teasing Zainaba, leading to a physical altercation with Hamid. The teacher arrived, causing the children to disperse. However, the teacher decided to punish Hamid for his actions, prompting Zainaba to plead for leniency. At that moment, the teacher spotted Haji outside and approached him. Meanwhile, Hamid quietly informed Zainaba that the man standing there was her father, Abubakar Haji. It was a poignant first meeting for Zainaba, and Haji also caught sight of her. Reaching home, Zainaba shared with Aisha that she had seen her father. Time swiftly moved forward, and Zainaba transformed into a young, vibrant woman. Her relationship with Hamid had deepened, and they were now romantically involved. Zainaba and Hamid performed together in a drama. Haji, seeing this, was deeply angered. He returned home in a very bad mood and unleashed his anger on Khadija and Pathama, shouting at them unreasonably. Arriving at Ibrahim's hut the next day, Haji summoned Zainaba, then began shouting at Ibrahim and Aisha about Zainaba's participation in the drama. This led to a verbal clash between Haji and Ibrahim. Haji insisted Zainaba accompany him to his home. Upon her refusal, he attempted to forcibly remove her. Ibrahim stepped in, and Haji responded by striking him. Ibrahim, in turn, retrieved a dagger and prepared to attack Haji. Haji stormed off, declaring he would have his revenge. Under the cover of darkness, Zainaba and Hamid held a secret meeting. Ibrahim, unexpectedly witnessing this, was seized by a fit of rage. He drew his dagger, his intent clear, to kill both Zainaba and Hamid. Ibrahim's anger dissipated when he heard Zainaba tell Hamid how much she loved her grandfather and how she would never want to hurt him. He changed his mind and asked Hamid to send his father the next day to talk about their wedding. Following discussions between Hamid's father and Ibrahim, the wedding of Hamid and Zainaba was set. Ibrahim and Aisha then deliberated on the wedding expenses, ultimately deciding to use their lifelong savings to ensure a proper ceremony. During the wedding ceremony, the mullah raised an objection, insisting that the bride's father was the only one authorized to perform the marriage rites. Despite Ibrahim's attempts to resist, he was forced to comply with societal expectations. In a desperate attempt, Ibrahim went to Haji's place and begged him to come and perform the wedding rites. Haji responded with insults and dismissed him. Ibrahim's tears were met with mockery. As a final act of supplication, Ibrahim fell at Haji's feet, but Haji cruelly pushed him away. Knowing the depths of Ibrahim's humiliation, Aisha went to Haji, desperate to salvage the wedding. She implored him to attend, even going so far as to beg forgiveness for transgressions she hadn't committed. The ensuing commotion drew Fatima, who declared she would leave their home permanently if Haji refused to accompany Aisha. This decisive action convinced Haji to relent. Haji entered the wedding venue, his gaze sweeping across the assembled guests. Without warning, he declared his opposition, stating that he would not allow his daughter, Zainaba, to marry a son of a low-level businessman. Hamid stepped forward to challenge Haji's pronouncement, but the wedding was effectively halted. The weight of the failed wedding settled heavily on Hamid. With a voice filled with sorrow, he asked his father for money, expressing his need to live elsewhere for a period. His father, recognizing his son's profound distress, granted his request. Hamid then shared a poignant farewell with Aisha and Ibrahim. Hamid, facing an uncertain future, told Zainaba that their fate was in God's hands. He resisted her attempts to stop him, declaring his need to go. He asked her to wait, promising he would return for her if she could. Zainaba, with unwavering resolve, promised to wait. Hamid then left, leaving her to keep her vow. Ibrahim, his health failing, called Aisha and Zainaba. He explained the weight of religious tradition, stating that Zainaba could not marry without Haji's approval while he lived. He advised her to return to her father's home, a decision made with heavy hearts but deemed essential. Zainaba, with Aisha, made her way to Haji's home from Ibrahim's bedside. Fatima welcomed Zainaba with genuine affection. However, Haji seemed to take pleasure in Aisha's distress. Seeing this, Aisha, deeply saddened, left for her own home. Khadija harbored a deep dislike for Zainaba, subjecting her to constant harassment and even physical abuse, culminating in a slap. Fatima, witnessing this, confronted Khadija. Later, she informed Haji of the incident. Enraged, Haji was about to physically attack Khadija when the call to prayer intervened. Rosama's arrival brought the heartbreaking news of Ibrahim's final moments. However, Haji's harsh rejection of Rosama and his refusal to let Zainaba go left her in despair. Ibrahim's death followed swiftly, compounding the grief. With the passage of time, a representative from Muhammad Yusuf, a merchant, arrived to meet Haji. The manager inquired about renting Haji's building, and Haji consented to the agreement. After a period of absence, Hamid came back and found Aisha. He assured her, with unwavering conviction, that he would never depart again. Muhammad Yusuf completed the rental deal at Haji's residence. Afterward, Kurup revealed to Haji that Yusuf was exceptionally rich, having amassed his wealth through gold business ventures. Aisha sent word to Zainaba, requesting a meeting. Zainaba, sneaking out to see Aisha, was unaware that Khadija had found out and told Haji. Just as Aisha was about to serve Zainaba food, Haji arrived, violently disrupting the moment. He kicked the food away, threatened Aisha with death, and dragged Zainaba back to their home. Kurup proposed a marriage between Zainaba and Muhammad Yusuf. The manager, receptive to the idea, promised to convey the proposal to Muhammad Yusuf. Khadija, driven by spite, took the necklace Haji had bought for Zainaba. When he confronted her, she retaliated by throwing the necklace at his face, a gesture of deep disrespect. Overcome with fury, Haji attempted to take her life, but Fatima's timely intervention prevented a tragedy. Aisha learned from the mullah that Zainaba's wedding was imminent, set for Friday. Despite her illness, Aisha was determined to be there, showcasing her unwavering dedication. On her wedding day, Zainaba was overwhelmed with sorrow, her tears flowing as she desperately longed to see her mother. With the necklace she had kept for Zainaba's wedding, Aisha arrived at the wedding place. She stood outside, filled with longing, watching the ceremony. Kurup, observing her, informed Haji of her presence. Haji's confrontation with Aisha was brutal, demanding she leave. Her loud cries filled the air. Zainaba, drawn by the commotion, appeared, but Haji forcefully took her back inside. Aisha left, heartbroken. Haji's actions were met with disapproval, leading some guests to abandon the wedding. Muhammad Yusuf marries Zainaba. After the wedding, Yusuf and Sainaba were about to leave when Haji stopped them. He questioned their plans, and Yusuf replied that he was taking Sainaba to see her mother. This triggered Haji's wrath, but Yusuf unexpectedly challenged him, exposing the misdeeds of his past. Yusuf declared he would divorce Sainaba, prompting Haji to plead against it. Yusuf retorted, "It hurts when it happens to your daughter, doesn't it? You've done the same to many women." He then questioned Haji about his interference in Sainaba's marriage to Hamid, and the insults he had hurled at Hamid. Yusuf's facade crumbled as he meticulously removed his makeup, revealing his true identity, Hamid. He had cleverly disguised himself to exact revenge on Haji, marrying Sainaba under this false persona. With his plan complete, Hamid and Sainaba departed to meet Aisha. Haji, overwhelmed by the events, collapsed. Fatima, showing her unwavering compassion, took care of him and offered him words of wisdom. Sainaba and Hamid, having achieved their goal, arrived at Aisha's hut, where they found happiness and resolution.